we're back with news from SBF. That guy just won't shut up. Yesterday, he was out here talking again on Substack, just sharing his mind with the world, explaining why everything isn't the way people think it really is. In this case, he was focusing on FTX US, which he continues to maintain is actually solvent and therefore can give all its customers back all their money. Now, a lot of people, including the lawyers looking into this bankruptcy case, say otherwise. There was a bankruptcy filing yesterday that highlighted the remaining assets in the FTX estate, if you will, and there does seem to be some discrepancies maybe in how they may or may not be accounting for a shortfall. But what really sticks out to me in all this is that SBF just can't let the narrative continue without himself chiming in. He's got to say, this is what I think, this is how things really are. And he's only focusing on the narratives that are most convenient to him. What he's not talking about are other revelations, like that Alameda had this giant backdoor that it could basically walk out with all of everyone's money right through. And other allegations of fraud. What's most important to him is just to say, you can get your money back, U.S. customers, because that's all he's got left. That's all he's got left to stand on at this point. David, over to you.
Yeah, and I want to highlight that we got another classic SBF Excel spreadsheet with this update, which was not quite as awful and embarrassing and just made up as a previous one that's infamous. But it is still hilarious. I mean, there's just a column that says tokens, $1.8 million, or whatever. And so it's really, he just lives in his mind palace where everything is fine. And I mean, just to step back briefly, I mean, it is totally plausible that in some mix of balances and tokens, there is enough money to give FTX US customers back their funds. But the problem is that Sam Bankman-Fried and his entire complex of co-conspirators never actually kept track of that money in the first place. So any of the stuff that's being written right now is like post facto slotting these assets into that column, rather than anything that was actually tracked at the time. And so it's all just him going back and trying to reconstruct something that was never there in the first place. And as far as FTX US versus the rest of everything else, there is still a lot to be learned there. But I mean, it seems like the separation was notional at best. Wendy, you wanted to chime in.
I just don't understand. It's like he has some of the best attorneys in the world representing him, but then he goes out and continues to like gaslight the entire community. Regardless if FTX US was solvent or not solvent, I think it's safe. It would be a safe thing to say to just keep your mouth shut and just play your League of Legends or do whatever it is you're doing. Because it's embarrassing at this point. Like, I don't understand why people need to take to Twitter for like to discuss things like this. Like all this stuff is going to be hashed out in court anyways. And maybe he's a narcissist. Maybe there's severe mental disorder there is making him think that, hey, this is okay. This is going to like help save me. Or maybe he has a gut. Maybe he's doing it to kind of save face. And he really in his head feels like this is the right thing to do. I don't know. I think that it's very crass. I think that it's not good for the entire industry. And it just is kind of setting us back. And I wish he would just keep his mouth shut and let his attorneys defend him, even though I don't think he is worth defending at all. And I don't care for the attorneys that he has hired for obvious reasons. Zach.
It's a long way to go between now and October. That's when the trial starts. So there's going to be many a post between now and then as he sits in house arrest in Palo Alto. It is interesting, again, like to see this messaging strategy being rolled out. Like, hey, just almost like I'm going to post through this crisis. I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability, my understanding of how it all went down. You know, some of it will be, damning. Some of it may cause people to say, okay, maybe this is a good faith argument. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of this stuff between now and October, and we're going to see more of these posts in which Sam Bankman-Fried tries to rewrite the history of this epic collapse. That to me is kind of, it is kind of funny that, the financial press is hanging on every Substack post from SBF. Bloomberg highlighted the fact that he took to Substack as some like major news event, right? And so we're going to see this time and time again, I think, between now and October as he tries to get his version of the facts out there. It's just going to be, a lot. It's going to be a lot.
Can someone call his mom and tell his mom
palace
to take away his internet access, please? Because it's just getting absolutely ridiculous. Sorry, Danny, I had to chime in. Like sometimes moms need to be called and they got to discipline their kids, man. Go ahead, Danny.
I believe that she believes that her son did nothing wrong, so she's probably go get him on Substack, share your mind with the world. But he really should stay in his mind palace. I love that. I love that illusion. Oh, there goes my light filter again. But yes, he just won't shut up. And you know what? I kind of respect it. I like that he's got nothing. He's got nothing left to lose at this point. He's facing a lot of charges. He could go for serious time, and he's just going out into the public space and trying to make his case because that's all he can do. And obviously, the League of Legends just isn't cutting it.